Tired of outdoor solar floodlights that stay dim or die early? I analyzed 5 outdoor solar floodlights that actually keep entrances clearly lit. What I found about battery life and motion range will prevent you from relying on weak solar floodlights. Here we go. Starting off at number 5, this one nails true all-night coverage without any wiring hassle. We have the Intelamp solar floodlight, rated at about 2000 lumen. Picture stepping into your backyard at midnight, and everything is still clearly visible. That's the vibe here. The head uses 251 LEDs and a clear lampshade, so the light is clean and wide, not a tiny spotlight that only hits one corner. But here's where it gets interesting. The lamp is 3-sided, giving you about a 180-degree spread. You can tilt it up and down as well, so you can aim it at the gate, the patio, or a barn door, without moving the whole bracket. For driveways, side yards, or a chicken coop, that spread makes a big difference. On the power side, it leans hard into endurance. There's a big 20,000 milliamp hour battery and a high-efficiency solar panel. Intelamp claims roughly 5 hours of good sun can run it at high brightness through the night. That means you're not constantly worrying if it'll die at 3 in the morning. Now, this next feature is what separates it from basic motion lights. You get a remote with a decent range. From the porch, you can set a 2 to 12-hour timer, drop it into low light mode, or pick one of 3 brightness levels. There's also a simple dusk to dawn mode, if you just want it to handle itself. Installation is pretty straightforward. A 16-foot cable lets you mount the panel in the sun and tuck the light under an eave, inside a shed, or on a pole. It's rated IP65, so rain and wind shouldn't be a problem. One consideration is that, like any solar light, it still depends on decent sun. In deep shade or rough winters, you may want to run it at a lower brightness or shorter timer. This makes the most sense if you want a bright, set-and-forget area light with real control without touching your electrical panel. Link is in the description. Next up at number 4. This one takes a more classic motion security approach to yard lighting. We have the Lepower Solar Motion Security Light. This solves a problem a lot of solar lights have. They either stay weak all night or blast on with no control. Here, you actually get options. You've got 3 adjustable heads that together push out around 1600 lumens. So instead of one harsh spot, you can fan the light out across the driveway, the side gate, and part of the yard at the same time. Color temperature is around 5500 Kelvin, so it's that clean, neutral white that makes details easier to see on cameras and with your eyes. The solar panel is monocrystalline silicon, which is the efficient stuff. It still pulls in a trickle of power, even on cloudy days. And Lepower rates the LEDs for up to 50,000 hours, so you're not thinking about replacements anytime soon. Now, the motion side is where this feels like a real security light. The sensor range is adjustable from 0 up to about 72 feet. You can also tweak how long it stays on, from roughly 10 to 120 seconds. That way you're not wasting stored power every time a car passes by. You also get 3 modes. Auto mode, for motion-only security, a normally on mode that gives you about 50 minutes of continuous light off a full charge, and a test mode, so you can dial everything in quickly before you bolt it down. Installation is pretty friendly. There's a 15-foot cable between the panel and the light that lets you put the panel up high in good sun and tuck the fixture under an eave or over the garage. It's rated IP65, so rain, sleet, and snow shouldn't scare it. Worth mentioning that this isn't meant as an all-night area light. Think targeted motion coverage around doors, garages, and walkways. If that's what you need, this is a solid, no-nonsense option. You'll find the link in the description. Next up at number 3, this one leans into set-and-forget security lighting. We have the Philips Solar Security Light Motion Sensor. Picture walking up your driveway or side yard, and the whole area pops on, not just a tiny spot. That's the idea here. You get 3 separate light heads, all adjustable, so you can fan the beam across the door, the steps, and part of the yard without moving the base. Behind those heads are about 300 high-brightness LEDs, putting out around 1200 lumen. The light is a cool daylight tone, roughly 7000 Kelvin, so details stand out clearly on your cameras and to your eyes. Coverage reaches to about 65 feet, and each head can rotate up to roughly 130 degrees, which gives you a lot of aiming flexibility. But here's where it gets interesting. The motion sensor is wide and fairly long range. It watches about 180 degrees in front of it, and can pick up movement out to around 49 feet. So for a typical driveway or front walkway, you're covered. You also get 3 simple modes. First, pure motion mode. It stays off and jumps to full brightness for about 25 seconds when it senses movement. Second, a low steady glow at about 10% brightness that can run 8 to 10 hours, more of a safety or path light. Third, a very dim 3% background that ramps to 100% when it detects motion. That last one is nice if you want a gentle marker light that still reacts strongly when someone walks up. Power comes from an upgraded polycrystalline solar panel, feeding an about 1800 milliamp hour battery. It's designed to charge faster and hold enough for a full night on the lower modes, as long as the panel sees decent sun. The housing is rated around IP65, and Philips built it to handle heavy rain, humidity, strong sun, and temperature swing. No wiring is needed. You mount the bracket, attach the light, point the panel at the sky, and you're done. In real-world use, this fits best if you want clean, bright motion lighting for entrances, garages, and paths, without touching your electrical system. Just remember, for very large yards, you might want more than one unit to keep everything evenly lit. You'll find the link in the description. These products are great, but there are hundreds of deals every day, and most of them are trash. That's why I pick the 5 best from each category every day and post them for free on Telegram. And you can choose only the categories that interest you, with zero spam. Link in the description. Next up at number 2, this one is all about wide coverage with low effort. We have the Intelamp Solar Motion Sensor Floodlight. Picture stepping off your porch and your whole side yard lights up, not just a small patch. That is where this design makes sense. You get 3 separate lamp heads, and each one is adjustable. You can angle them out for a wide wash across the driveway, the gate, and the walkway. Altogether, you are looking at roughly a 270-degree spread and around 1200 lumen. What that means in practice is you are not walking through dead zone. You can fan the heads out or pull them tighter if you want more punch in one spot. The light is a clean, bright white, so cameras pick up detail, and you can see who is actually there. The interesting thing is how it handles power. Intelamp uses a high-efficiency solar panel and a high-capacity battery. According to their specs, a solid day of sun can keep it running in motion mode for up to about 3 nights, so you are not stressing every time you get a cloudy afternoon. You also get 3 simple modes. One keeps a low glow all night and jumps to full when it senses motion. One stays completely off until something moves, and one just runs at a low level through the night if you prefer more of a path light. Dual motion sensors watch out to more than 180 degrees, so it can catch movement coming from the front and the side. Installation is very straightforward. Screws for walls and fences, tie straps if you want it on a post or a tree. No wiring, no trenching. This makes the most sense if you want wide, everyday security lighting without touching your electrical panel. Keep in mind, it still depends on getting that solar panel into decent sun, especially in winter. Check the link in the description. Before we reveal our number 1, be sure to check out the description below for the freshest deals on each of these items. And finally, number 1. This is where simple security lighting meets everyday convenience. We have the Tuffenough Solar Motion Security Lights. If you've ever had to drag out a ladder just to change a setting, this one fixes that. Each light comes with a wireless remote, so you can stand on the ground and pick your mode. You've got 3 options: strong light with motion only, dim background that jumps bright on motion, or a strong, constant light for when you're outside working or expecting people. Now, the big question is brightness. Each unit packs around 210 LEDs and pushes up to about 2,500 lumens at a cool 6,500 Kelvin. In normal words, that's a clean, daylight-style white. That makes it easy to see faces, license plates, or tools in your hand. Coverage is another thing it does well. You get 3 adjustable heads you can fan out, giving you up to roughly a 270-degree spread. The PIR motion sensor watches out to around 26 feet, so you can cover a driveway, side yard, and a gate with one fixture if you aim it right. Power comes from a built-in 2,000 mAh battery and a high-efficiency solar panel. Mount the light around 6.5 to 8 feet high and make sure the panel faces the sun with no shade. On cloudy stretches, it makes more sense to run it in motion mode instead of full-time bright. The housing is IP65 rated and fully wireless. No trenching, no electrician. You just use the included screws and you're done. In real use, this makes the most sense if you want bright, wide, motion-based coverage around entrances, garages, or side yard, and you like the idea of changing settings from your porch instead of a ladder. Just remember, it's still solar. If you need constant, maximum brightness through long winter, you may want to lean on the sensor modes. Links in the description. Now you know which solar floodlights keep your property bright and secure, without dark corners or lights dying early. For all-night area coverage, go with number 5. For motion security, wet doors and garages, pick number 4. For maximum brightness and remote control, at entrances or driveways, choose number 1. Stocks tighten before winter, so lock in your pick. Check the links in the description.